Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time where we look at the news on the Daily Mail website and pass comment. Hey ho. Good news, everyone. We're in recession. We've officially hit recession. GDP shrank by 0.3% at the end of 2023. Oh my god, look at that. Look, look. Oh my god. It's negligible. It's really negligible. There will be people who say, well, it's your Brexit, isn't it? It's your Brexit. Without actually mentioning anything that's going on in Europe. Gee, I wonder what happened in let's see, 2020. So everything was doing really well. Look, really well. Quarter, boom. Then there was a bounce up, and then wonder what happened. Wonder what happened last year. Yeah, anyway, it's a recession. It probably won't affect you because it's not really a real kind of recession, because everyone's obsessed with infinite growth, and as we know, we live on a finite world with finite resources, and there's no way we can ever have infinite growth unless we have a car of people. I'm not suggesting that. That's just, oh god. Pontins are in trouble for racially discriminating against Irish travellers. As we say here, our official policy is we have no issue with travellers as long as they clean up after themselves. That's it. That's all they've got to do. Leave the place as they found it. But yeah, the Equality and Human Rights Commission, the HRC, found that Pontins drew up a list of common Irish surnames and labelled them undesirable guests to stop suspecting that traveller families booking holidays at its parks. So let's see, right? Now again, if you've had problem families who've smashed up your hotel resort, block them, ban them. Obviously, that's your prerequisite. But what they've done here is quite interesting. So Boyle is gone. So Frankie Boyle can't book a holiday there. He blocked me on Twitter. Doherty's gone. So that's Pete Doherty from the Libertines. He can't book a holiday. And Gallagher. So that's both the Gallagher brothers can't book a holiday at Pontins. Though I love the idea of Liam Gallagher being mad for it at Pontins. There we go. That's Pontins. For those of you outside the UK, it's a holiday resort, cheap family holiday resort complex thing. And yeah, so you can't do that. You can't do that. And so that's the story. That's the story. You can't do that. Good news. This is good news. Stealing cats and dogs is set to become a specific offence, with those partaking in such a crime looking at 5 years behind bars. So yeah, the Pet Abduction Bill, which is a private member's bill sponsored by Tory MP Anna Firth. Here she is. We've featured her before. It looks like it's going to be going through. It cleared another hurdle in Parliament yesterday, and she said, as a nation of pet lovers, it's vital for the law recognising the emotional impact of the abduction of pets can have. Pets are not merely property at the moment. Pet crime is regarded as property crime. They are part of the family. It's not right. The law does not distinguish this, and my bill will redress this wrong. So yeah, that's good news. That's good news, and I like the idea of people getting 5 years in the clink. Meanwhile, we have baby names that are on the brink of extinction. Yeah. This is from UK Parent Resource Baby Centre, and we have top endangered girls' names and top endangered boys' names. Ladies first, okay. And there's quite a few. I'll rattle through them. I don't think these are in any particular order, but these are the top endangered girls' names for 2024. You ready? Maddie, Macy, Drew, Syra, Renee, Indiana, Elise, Bailey, Anita, Tiana, Peggy, Nahira, Latifa, Kira, Dima, Alicia, Zara, Vivian, Mara, and Flo. And for the boys, Roscoe, Rafi, Miller, Matthias, Luigi, it's me, Mario, sorry, Hansa, Buddy, Tiger, Preston, Nelson, Moses, Jameson, Bruno, Bowen, Griff, Aidan, Eunice, Leroy, Rada, and Keanu, or Keanu, or Canoe. Fascinating. I'm losing the will to live here. Meanwhile, scientists from the University of Nottingham have found that older texters don't know what all their emojis mean. Do you have a bit of problem? Do you have a problem with your emojis? And yeah, the researchers asked 500 men and women from the UK and China. Why China? To identify emotions being portrayed in a series of little yellow icons, emojis, in text messages and social media posts. They also found that British people had more difficulty recognising a disgusted face. Right. So they've got some emojis here, so you can familiarise. They do look a bit different. Apparently, this disgusted one we have trouble identifying. And fearful, I didn't know that was. I thought it'd be more shocked or amazed. Look at the Windows version. Sad, I know that one. Surprised, yeah. Angry, obvious. But yeah, fearful and disgusted, you could probably. I mean, it looks like you might have stubbed your toe or trodden on some Lego. So yeah, be careful when using your emojis. Of course, everybody knows what that one means. It means aubergine or eggplant. But generally, Westerners did better than the Chinese that recognise emoji emotions, but struggled with the disgusted face. Ye Chen of Nottingham University said women demonstrate a higher accuracy in emotion recognition than men. That's because they're women and we're men. One potential explanation is the primary caretaker or hypothesis. Accurate and rapid identification of infant emotions, especially facial expressions, is a very important part of infant care, as infant mortality has generally been high throughout human evolution. What? What's that got to do with emojis? Okay. So I'm not feeling it. Are you feeling it? There's an article about how healthy your bread is, but it's behind the paywall. We'll never know. Look how they tempt me. Look how they tempt me with how healthy is your bread. But no, I will not pay for the paywall. Lots of Harry and Meghan stories. Yeah, we'll leave those alone. Where else? There was something else. I'm sure this is refreshed since I opened it. Because I saw some stories and they seem to have gone. Meanwhile, Sadiq Khan has spent £6.3 million on revamping overground line names. Yeah, the overground. Underground, overground, wambling free. His name's Mayor Khan, and he irritates me. Does he irritate you too? But anyway, we've got some new line names to learn. Here they are. We've got these are classics. The Liberty line, the Lioness line. Excuse me, the Mildmaid line, the Suffragette line, the Weaver line, the Windrush line. But what? They missed out the Panty line, didn't they? Missed out the Panty line. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you've got to learn all these lines because there will be a test, and this is the new revised overground map with the lines on. So, but yeah, apparently all the new names have an historical significance. Okay, but £6.3 million. That's a lot of money, isn't it? That's a lot of money. Oh. Meanwhile, whilst our mate Vlad, you know Vlad Putin, he's our mate. He's my favourite. He's my favourite Russian dictator. I mean, sorry, ruler of the 21st century. He's come out and said that he backs Biden over Trump. That's very interesting, because he was waxing lyrical over Trump on the Tucker Carlson interview, I believe. But no, he reckons that the Sleepy Joe is more experienced and predictable. Yes, because Trump's completely unpredictable. Completely unpredictable. Meanwhile, this isn't an animal news, but you know what's really dangerous? Cows. That's what's really dangerous. And if we don't eat them, if we don't have them in a bun, they will attack. And as Janique the vet found out, here she is walking her Labrador goose, but she was attacked by a herd of cows and suffered life-changing injuries. Here she is, as afterwards. Because those cows, they might look harmless, but they'll kill you. They'll kill you. And if she's being taken away by emergency services, they will kill you. That's why we've got to eat them first. Remember that. We've got to eat. Look, here's a hoof print on her tummy. Look. Goodness. They're vicious killers, cows. Yeah. She was trampled by a herd of cows on a public footpath on July 25th, 2021. The army veteran, Miss Tvet, T-V-E-D-T, Tvet, and her friend David Hood had been walking dogs on a lead across the footpath when a cow and a pair of calves began to attack her pets. Two other animals then joined the fray before knocking her over and knocking her to her knees, trampling her as the other bovines moved in to surround her. And yeah, she was airlifted to hospital. She said, "I still have visions of the three cows' heads pinning me against the hedge. I've had the best part of 2 years counselling to overcome the trauma. The injuries I have are permanent." And at York Magistrates Court, it was heard that no fencing was in place to separate the public footpath from the cattle, and adequate signage was not put up to warn walkers of the risk posed by the animals. Prosecutors said a previous near-miss incident a decade ago saw a walker chased by cows, but they escaped without injury. Right? And the farmer, whose cows they were, Martin Falshaw, was judged to have failed to take adequate precautions to keep his cattle separate from the path. And he's been fined. Yes. He's been fined. Did it say? Yeah. He was fined £770.50. Ooh. And he's got to pay £190 victim surcharge and legal costs of over £4,500. Hopefully he'll learn his lesson. But, this is a regular thing. I mean, only in December we was reading the story of how another farmer has got to pay out £100,000 after a primary school teacher was killed when a cow went into fight mode. Yeah, Marion Clode, she was on an Easter break in Northumberland in 2016, was tossed over a gate by the cow, which repeatedly charged at her. Yeah, she suffered severe spinal injuries after the attack and died 3 days later in hospital. Here she is. Very serious. This is very serious. You might think I'm joking. And yeah, Farmer Alistair Nixon. This is he. Farmers are always fat, aren't they? Always fat. He's got to pay £100,000 because of responsibility. Yeah, he was moving his herd when 15 cows escaped and made the attack. This was at St Cuthbert's Cave. Anyway, we could do cow stories all day, couldn't we? I better get a move on. So there you go. Be very, very careful. Oh, thank God for that. Thank God for that. We've finally got a serious story. We're finally back on track. A serious story because, yes, it's the return of urology case reports. Yes. An unnamed 73-year-old from Australia, right, lost part of his penis. Okay. How did it happen? Well, he developed penile necrosis. Oh, that's terrible. Isn't that sad? But what? How? Because he shoved. Oh, why? He shoved those little kind of, those little button batteries that you get put in your, not in this, but in your watch, and those, and he shoved them into his jap's eye. Like you do, for his own sexual gratification, apparently. And he said he'd done it before, and he had no issues with removing them in the past. But this time, they got stuck, and he waited 24 hours before seeking medical help. Yeah, the 1.3 centimetre wide batteries were when he tried to get them out, just ended up being pushed deeper into the urethra. Oh boy! And button batteries, they release a corrosive liquid because they've got acid inside them because they're batteries. If they become lodged in the body, and again, this is why children, if they swallow them, they can kill, and they can burn through tissue and blood vessels within hours, causing severe internal damage and bleeding, which can often be fatal. Doctors examining the man found the opening of his urethra was stained black, and surgery revealed that necrosis had occurred. And it's the Energizer battery man going, "Get some of that." Medics at Western Health Footscray Hospital in Melbourne treated him, said he felt pain and couldn't empty his bladder properly, and they tried to grab the trio of batteries using forceps. Hold still. Yeah. And they said the patient struggled to tolerate the procedure, and this was abandoned. But they were removed successfully under general anaesthetic. Each of the batteries were covered in a black tar-like material, and the man's urethra had suffered extensive burns. He was given a 2-week supply of antibiotics and discharged after 3 days, and was recovering well from the operation. However, he came back 10 days later complaining of a swollen penis and discharge from his urethra. They cut into his penis, which led to a large amount of pus oozing out, and revealed he had an 8 centimetre section of dead tissue within his shaft. I wonder if on case reports have got pictures. Sorry, you've got to look, haven't you? Yeah, here's the inside of his urethra. It's gone black. Good in there. Don't look good in there, does it? Oh, oh Jesus Christ! If I zoom in, like real close up. I don't know if I can show this. I'm going to show it real quickly because I'm going to get demonetised. I had an 18 certificate slapped on I think it was last Friday's, or was it Monday's one? The one with when the football player got struck by lightning. 18 certificate, too hot for YouTube, and the live stream Tuesday night was deemed inappropriate for advertising. I don't know why. What did we talk about? We talked about Renee buying expensive tea mainly, but anyway, cop a load of this. Yep, and that's why you don't stuff batteries in your little man. All right. You don't do it. You just don't do it. So yeah, he had to have a catheter, and he made an eventual recovery, which they reckon estimate take 9 months, and was very complex. I'm just glad we got a decent story. Just so glad. because we're in danger of not having a good story. Oh dear. Oh, YouTube's not good anyway. It's like rubbish, isn't it? Wonky cycle path? Come on in. Why not? Where is this then? We're going to Chawton Cum Hardy, and that's cum spelt C-U-M. They put the cum in Cum Hardy. If you're going to come, you've got to come hardy, ain't you, really? And that's a trendy Manchester suburb, apparently. But yeah, the council's £13.4 million flagship cycle route is driving locals bonkers. They are furious, though. They are indignant with furious outrage. Please let there be some people with their arms folded. The path in Barlow Moor Road, which alone cost £2.3 million. How much? And yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, it's a bit curvy, but people have been less than impressed with the new works. Well, cyclists want cycle lanes, but this is what it was supposed to look like. I can see why they're upset. It was supposed to be they call it the Dutch style plan for the cycle route, and it didn't end up looking like that. Instead, it looks kind of drab and dull. And there's actually blocks there. I don't know if that really... See, there's dividing blocks. Now, I don't know about you, but cyclists and blocks... If, I don't know, you're not concentrating or you get blown off, you can get blown off, can't you? You can get blown off. You know what I mean? A gust of wind could dislodge you. Maybe a small child runs out in front of you. Cyclists would just run them over because they're evil. Everybody knows cyclists are evil. They could hit the block and it could knock their block off. Ah, dear. Oh. She's doing it. Arms folded behind her back. This is the new thing. It's the new thing. It doesn't really show, but I've noticed that the indignant rage people put their hands behind their back now. That little kid did it yesterday. And it just looks a bit of a mess, but it's the UK. Everything we do is shabby. But yeah. Yeah, they've got, and down the road, they've got a new Cyclops junction. That's cycle optimized protected signal junction, which looks like that. Oh, I've got a headache, and I'm not even a motorist. So there you go, cycle lanes. Are they a good thing or a bad thing? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Meanwhile, sports news. A London amateur football team is refusing to play against its opponents, which they dub in MHFC, because their name is offensive. Right? Yeah, Camden and Islington United have boycotted a second straight match against MHFC, whilst there is an investigation into the club and its name. The men's team has refused to play MHFC in the Wembley Cup last Sunday, which was, again, the name, the official name wasn't announced, but it was done by its initials. And have we got a picture of the MHFC? No, we haven't. But anyway, the MH stands for Munter Hunter. It's a terrible name. It's a terrible name, and see, UEFA Munter Hunters, and I guess Munthub is the profile picture, not Pornhub, Munthub. Munter is somebody who's not very attractive. It's usually a munter can be male or female though. So, you know, I've never really thought of munter being exclusively a female thing. I thought munters were both male and female. But yeah, you know. There you go. Munter Hunter is an unacceptable name, and they're being investigated. Could be worse. Could be MLF FC. Okay. What else have we got? I feel like I've done enough. I'm running on fumes here. What else have we got? Oh, so I got a real, my nose feels like it's gonna. Got sneezes. Oh, that's our car. Not car. There is a car in the story, but it's an animal story. Meanwhile, I feel sympathy with this lady. Joanna Chu, who is a newspaper reporter, she took to X on Friday to complain about her time that she had on WestJet. She was flying home to Vancouver from Mexico via the Canadian airline, and she got kicked off. And here she is. Now you're probably wondering why did she get kicked off? Maybe she was, I don't know, drunk, antisocial, swore at the staff. No, she got kicked off because she was using the bathroom too much before takeoff. She said she got on the plane, and she suddenly developed a bit of a dicky tummy, bit of upset stomach, and needed to use the bathroom. Now they can be a bit funny. They can be a bit funny using the before you take off, and she was kicked off the flight for having a dicky tummy. She said her restroom trips were caused by an illness, but she said she'd had some meds and was on the mend. And she said, if you're sick before the flight, hold it in. Her problems continued when she was rushed off the plane and realised she left her money on board with the people with whom she was travelling. A supervisor for WestJet refused to give her money for a taxi. She posted a photo of the supervisor looking annoyed as she burst into tears after they become aggressive. And this is a picture of the WestJet, a WestJet plane, stock image. So she was basically left with no money. And all because she had the squits. There you go. But yeah, she managed to get home in the end, but she wasn't particularly pleased with the treatment she got from WestJet, the company. So there you go. Well, so we got. Oh, well, this is a follow-up to yesterday. Remember, we did. We covered Rachel Dolenzo, who came to prominence for being, was it a race swapper, race faker? She was president of the NAACP. I probably got that wrong. She's changed her name to Niki Dio, and was working at a school, but it came out that she was also running an OnlyFans account. Here we go. I'm sure you all did your research after yesterday's presentation. I'm sure you went off and just checked it was her, checked the pictures, make sure it was definitely the same. I know many of you would be doing research, But anyway, we knew it was going to happen. She got fired. She got fired from her school job. Yeah, she was working at Sunrise Drive Elementary School, and that's a picture of the school. And yeah, she's been released from her employment because, can't be done. Can't do both. Yeah. In an email, Tucson School District Director of Alumni and Community Relations, Julia Fairbanks, said the district was unaware of her account. We only learned of Miss Niki Dio's OnlyFans social media post yesterday afternoon. Her posts are contrary to our district's use of social media by district employees in policy attached and our staff ethics policy. She no longer is employed in the Catalina Fittle School District. There we go. It's incompatible. What else have we got? We do have some stupid here. This is at Blakedown Station in Worcestershire. Just wait for it to go round. This is a dog walker who goes under the train barriers to walk his dog across because it doesn't apply to him. He couldn't wait. And the train had to make an emergency stop to avoid him. What an idiot. There you go. That's your dose of stupid for today. What else have we got? That's another animal story. We also have a follow-up to. Do you remember we was talking about the ray, the Stingray? Do you remember? We was talking about a Stingray that was going to give birth. This was an aquarium in North Carolina. Charlotte the Stingray. Here she is. She got pregnant and they weren't sure how because there were no other Stingray in the tank with her. There was only a shark, and I was worried that there may have been some sort of shark catfish interaction. The other option was that parthenogenesis. Well, that's it. That's what they're saying. Experts are now admitting that it would be impossible for the Stingray to have mated with one of the 5 small sharks in her tank, and that parthenogenesis is definitely on the cards. Oh, look, it's some video footage of her being stroked. Oh. And yeah, but basically parthenogenesis is something that does happen in the Stingray world, but I don't think it's happened in captivity very often, not been observed. And it's a virgin birth. They basically make clones of themselves, and this is how they do it. Turkeys can also parthenogenesize. I think that's a word, but yeah. So yeah, an egg from the mother is fertilised with a cell from the same mother, and so it has a full set of genes. It's a clever stuff. So I'm sure that there'll be a follow-up with that. Crocodiles can also do it. Can also parthenogenesize. So yeah, interesting stuff. I find it interesting. Meanwhile, we'll do some animal stories. Rosie Stubbs from Bilthorpe in Nottinghamshire got a bit of a problem. She had a bit of a problem, and this is her pet pig, Polly Pocket, who got stuck. Whoops, got stuck in a drum, and yeah, she's wedged firmly in. What do you do when your pig's wedged firmly in a drum? She needs to move the wrong way round. This is almost as good as yesterday's cat story. You need to put some grease on that pig. I don't think she wants to come out. I think she's having a bit of a game. I think she's enjoying it. Look. What do you reckon? It looks like Polly's having a great time. And the other pig's sitting there. I'm not going to fall for that one. Make a bigger hole, yeah. I suppose that's an option. I want to see the pig get out. It'd be funny after she's done all this, the pig just turns around and comes out on its own, wouldn't it? Oh, wait a minute, we've got some movement. And out comes the pig. The pig is free. There we go. So, yeah, she spent 20 minutes rescuing a mischievous pet after he got stuck in a barrel. But I think a little bit of grace, a little bit of Lurpak, what do you reckon? Would have. Rosie says the area where she wandered into was for the chickens, and so that's why the barrel's so small. And I saw her rolling around in a barrel from the window. I had to go and rescue her. I got a saw and cut through the corners of the top so the hole was bigger for her to fit through. It was quite stressful, but I did see the funny side. She was completely unarmed, but as well. But it's not how you want to spend a relaxing Sunday, is it? No, it isn't. So there we go. At least the pig was set free. And there was another one. Where was it? Just bear with me a minute. I did try and open it and it didn't open. Here it is. Got it. This is some footage posted to TikTok at the Trinity Street car park on Monday. And that's in Dorchester in Dorset. And I'm hoping it's only a 15-second clip, and I'm hoping that there isn't an advert. But you know, you live and you wait to see what the deal is. Could be an advert. Here we go. So yeah, what we've got here is a seagull, but the seagulls are tough in Dorset because look, he's got a vape. Look at that. Seagull's got a vape. Maybe he's trying to quit smoking. So yeah, again, this is the problem with vapes, is they are e-waste, and animals can pick them up and swallow them. Anyway, should we see if there's anybody in? Oh, there's 9 people in. Runs in. He says, I feel a bit seedy being part of an X-rated coffee time. Oh, wait a minute. That'd be my man. Later. You're a noisy girl, aren't you? Who's a noisy girl? Gotcha. Where you going? Whoa! Got you now. Got you. Nose. Oh. Sorry about that. That was just the Parcel Force man. Another guitar bites the dust. Andrew said, good day. Dog cam. Well, I've made her come in so you can have dog cam because everyone gets what they want here. Here she is. She's not too happy. She wants to run around. There you go. There's a little bit of dog cam for you. Whew. Sorry, I went down the stairs. Andrew says, I always research very well, Darren. Indeed. And call Phil Collins. Why? What's he done? Anyway, thanks for watching. That was Coffee Time. Probably banned from everything. Because everything's so controversial on here. No, thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say. That is killing the channel one video at a time. You know you've got to drink it up. Ta-ta.